Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast. It's on TV, and you can watch it. They got 17 seasons, that's a lot, kid. But you can skip those. We do recaps about the whole show. Not the food, though, but the other stuff. Yeah. You're now listening to Pod Chef, the only official podcast about the TV show Top Chef, with your hosts, Jamal, Brian, and Reeves. And I only said their first names because I don't know everyone's last name, and I'm trying to be polite. Now enjoy the show.
So, it was me.
So loud instantly.
So loud.
I love it. It's gonna be loud. You did it right on the mic.
It was me, Brian, Jackson, and Reeves. No last name.
Thank you.
And we were tuxedo shopping because we were in LA last week, and we got invited to this fancy party. Our friend Oscar was throwing a party, and we had to go. Mr. Oscar.
Yeah.
It was Oscar's big night, right?
Oscar's
big night.
He always has a big night, and we got invited to it, and we had to go get our tuxedos. And I just remember as I'm getting, my pants hemmed up, and the guy goes, "Which way do you dress?" And I said, "Depends on the day." I just looked at Brian and I said, "Do you think anything crazy is going to happen at Oscar's party?" Do you remember what you said, Brian?
Yeah, I had this weird feeling that nothing was going to happen. And that's what I said. I said, it feels to me like nothing is going to happen. And then while I was saying that, the guy said, "Which side do you dress to?" And I said, "It doesn't matter."
And then you said, "You're not going to find out one way or the other."
Yeah, I just said the middle, and you're all right.
Yeah. And then Reeves brought up a good point. Reeves was like...
I was like, there's got to be a Chris Hemsworth joke that we can do based on where we are, but I can't put together all of the words to construct it. But I have the end part, which is Chris Hemsworth.
And then
that's how the greats do their jokes. I think they start with the punchline and they work their way backwards. Yeah. It's like a murder mystery writer. So the punchline is like, "So I hit her." And then, how do we get to that to be funny?
Well, and that's, to be fair, that's a lot of the jokes that you pitch start with that. And I mean, we tell you, I don't really have a way to get to anything.
I often say your comedic taste is kind of off for me. It's hard for me to maneuver around because of where we are kind of shoehorned in to landing.
Right.
I don't really have a lot of setups that end in, and so we hit her.
Yeah.
So...
I think we'll get there one day. We'll crack that. We'll bust it wide open.
Yeah, but when we were there getting our tuxedos, remember the guy made that crass joke at me, and I got so upset. He was like, I told him, I said, "Hey, this vest isn't closing. I either got to lose weight or we got to fix this." And he said, and this is his words, he said, "Don't worry, we'll blank rig it." And I'm putting a blank there to be polite because it was super offensive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Polite to your, He
was like, "We'll blank rig it." And I was like, I hauled off and I said, "I should smack you for this, but I won't."
Because you're a vessel for love.
Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. Wow. I'm your host, Jamal. I'm here, as always, with Reeves. Say what's up.
What's up? You're getting the most timely jokes here on Pod Chef. We're here.
And laughing is third mic, Brian.
What's up? I'm in a hotel.
So this is a live season of Top Chef, so we always have a guest, and we invited a good one this week. It's our very close friend, Chef Kevin, is back.
Hello, my boys. I'm so glad to be back. Thank you for having me. I'm going to have to start ranking your intro stories because I know you did the same bit last time I was here.
Good memory.
So I'll have to keep a list. I like this one. This one was really good.
We only do it when one? I don't remember. I don't remember the first one.
I was going to jump in before Jamal ended it with like, and then I'm hemming the pants like, and then Jamal said that and I'm like, nope, I'm not hemming the
pants. Yeah. Hey, that's what happened though. Yep. So yeah, go back and listen to last time Chef Kevin was here. If you want to listen to the last intro, we only do this when Handbook friends are here. But yeah, welcome back, Chef Kevin.
Thanks, guys.
We're so happy that you could do the show again. In fact, you're here at a good time because we want to get your take on something. You've done this with Handbook and maybe the Flagrant ones. You've done a con, right? You've done one of the cons, Comic-Con.
I've attended a con, yes.
So we at our humble podcast submitted to Awesome Con 2022. And
give me the deets. Where is it?
It's going to be here. It's going to be here in DC. It's still going to happen.
Wow.
But we are not invited.
Wow.
And I'd like to read for you what we got as an email back from Awesome Con.
Which I think is a personalized response. I don't think everyone got this response.
This felt like they were talking directly to us.
Okay.
And should we set this up a little bit that Brian initially pitched this as something we should submit to Jamal and I because he had an in. Someone who was on the committee is a close friend of his. And so there was no doubt we were going to get in. And then Brian sat on the application for a couple of weeks and eventually submitted. And then we got this response.
Okay. So first line. Hello, Brian Jackson! Exclamation point. Already personalized. Already clearly talking to Brian, right?
Yep.
Second line. We're so grateful you took the time to come up with such a great idea, comma, but, and this is where things...
And this happens a lot.
Wait, was the great idea that you guys should attend it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Here's an idea. Us.
Yeah. The great idea was coming to Awesome Con. Here's the but. And it says, but we received an overwhelmingly large amount of panel submissions this year. And that's the part where I go, really? I've been to Awesome Con. It's not exactly bumper to bumper, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, you're not searching for parking.
Exactly. You're not. All right? And the line outside is long, but it moves fast.
And the list of attendees isn't like, you're not freaking Zen.
It fits on one page easily.
Easily. You could put it on a business card, probably.
It's like the fourth iteration Red Power Ranger. Like, not the original one. It's like the one you don't know.
He doesn't even go by Jason anymore.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, it's Jay.
Yeah, and he's Samoan. All right.
He's like, I was a Power Ranger. And you're like, no, what?
No, you weren't. We don't remember that. No, I was. I was on the jungle version of it. Yeah, got it.
Power Rangers Jungle.
Yeah, Power Rangers Jungle. Remember that?
Yeah, everyone remembers that.
Yeah.
Jungle Source. But we received an overwhelmingly large amount of panel submissions this year, and sadly, another comma, we could not accept them all. Okay, so at this point, I'm still thinking...
It's not you, it's me.
Exactly. At this point, I'm thinking, also, we haven't been rejected yet.
Yep.
They're just saying, we can't accept everyone.
We got so many offers.
We got so many, but we can't accept them all. We did accept you, though.
Yep.
That's clearly going to be the next thing.
You're doing a lot of legwork here, but
right.
Interesting way to say we got it. Okay.
Yeah. I'm over here like, you could put this in the first sentence. You don't have to like string me along.
Yeah. Bury the lead here.
Second sentence. That being said, comma, and this is never good when someone says that being said, because whatever they say before that being said is bullshit.
Yeah.
So they said, that being said, your panel, and they put it in quotes, pod chef, as if we're not real.
Yeah. It was like they thought it was fake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we were a real show.
Your aunt describing your career. How's the podcast going?
Yeah.
They said Pod Chef in quotes was not accepted for AwesomeCon 2022.
Wow.
That's where my mind got blown because I said, well, what's this lead up that basically doesn't say that? I mean, you say we have such a great idea. You got so many overwhelming large amount of panel submissions. Mm-hmm. You couldn't accept them all. And then you choose not to accept us?
Yeah.
I think they messed up. I think they meant everything else except for that not. Everything, except for that not seems like we're in.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Everything on here except for the word. If you take the word not out, this all still works. Because even the sentence after works. If you take the sentence after says thanks for understanding, which I would because we got accepted. Yeah. I have no problem understanding that.
I understand that completely. You put that not in there, then I'm confused.
Then I'm like, well, I don't understand now because you're telling me you're like, thanks for understanding. Well, I don't understand. And I'm peeking.
Yeah. Well, you're passionate.
I'm passionate.
Yeah.
So this is how they
wild.
This is how they ended it, Chef Kevin.
Yeah.
We appreciate your submission and encourage you to fill out our programming
to stop
application.
Doing pod chef.
Still in quotes.
Sorry, keep going. Encourage you to what?
To fill out our programming application for AwesomeCon next year. And then they signed it.
Thanks for being awesome.
Well, if I'm awesome, why didn't you have us on?
Yeah, mixed messaging is what that breakup sounds
Thanks for trying to be awesome.
So we're inviting Leslie Hussinger, programming and content coordinator for AwesomeCon, to come on the podcast and explain herself.
Coward.
Yeah. Well, we have been dealing with a lot of cowards lately.
Now we know who left that review.
Yeah, not just people denying us from getting into cons, but fans giving us low ratings and then not writing anything about it.
I hate to see this too because I'm looking at the website and it does look very affordable. I think the issue with cons is like they're hundreds and hundreds of dollars, and this is like a 3-day badge is $85. It's like
exactly,
that's a good deal.
Exactly. You almost are being paid to be there on the third day.
Wow.
And I've gone to 2 of them.
How were they? Did you like it? Best part, worst part.
Best part, not super crowded.
Great.
Lots of panels. Lots of exhibits.
The best part, completely disagreeing with her point of getting so many submissions.
Yeah. A lot of the panels are empty, I've seen when I was there. Mm-hmm. No one in the audience. Which, hey, that could have been us, but we would have been at AwesomeCon.
Yeah. Definitely would have been us. Yeah.
Here's the negative. It's a room full of nerds who don't have hygiene fully figured out yet.
Sure.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
That's the nicest way I can
not
put
very
that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
No, not a lot of baddies there. Yeah. Hardly any baddies.
Baddie count is low.
Baddie count is super low. And it's got a counter on. And the thing is, they have a counter on the front door, which they shouldn't have, because it's embarrassing that it says 0 to 1. It says 0 to 1 depending on your standards.
It's like one of those counters that you get in a parking lot that says like level 1 full, level 2 has like 82 spots left.
Yep.
Like this counter just says there's like 25 spots left.
And there's some baddie nerds, but there aren't a lot of baddies attending this.
Yeah, the baddies are busy.
The baddies are busy.
That's my new Twitter profile.
Nice.
That's my AIM away message. The baddies are busy.
Yep.
So AwesomeCon didn't want us. I guess they hate diversity.
Yep.
And that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And the thing is, Brian and I can say that.
Brian responded racist.
So, Leslie, come on the show and explain yourself. You'll be getting an invite shortly.
We'll review a episode of Top Chef with you, and then kind of address the elephant in the room.
Yeah,
you gotta watch. You gotta watch the episode, though, Leslie. You come on, but you gotta watch an episode of Top Chef.
Have to watch the episode. Don't halfway do this.
We're not gonna break tradition for you.
Actually, this is a perfect episode that Chef Kevin's here, because Kevin, I had an epiphany moment last week.
Great.
We were in dire need of getting our episode edited, and I stepped up and said, "I'll do the editing." Right? I said, Brian's out. He's too busy to edit this week. I'll do it.
Mm-hmm. I hit Jamal with the hot tag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm, of course, the manager, so I can't be tagged
I'm, of course, tired.
Yeah. I'm, of course, very sleepy, so I won't be doing it because I have to sleep.
Oh, I'm
and
so tired.
I said, I'll do it. I'll step up.
Great.
All of 15 minutes of watching an editing video on Audacity, I told Brian, it can't be done.
Would love to do it. Can't be
Would
done.
love to do it. Can't be done today. And Brian stepped up and said, I got it. And Brian edited last week's episode. And I will never make an editing joke again.
Wow.
For as long as this podcast is not doing panels at an Awesome Con.
Wow. Respect.
So
Big
until
respect.
next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's a lot, man.
It is. I have a standing desk that I've been using to help my lower back because I edit all day, but I'm now reached the point with the standing desk where I get too tired standing. So I use it as a headrest. So I sit in my office chair, but at standing level and kind of just rest my chin on it. And it is kind of relaxing. I sent some friends a photo of that, and then they pointed out, is that a full bottle of wine next to you? And I said, it's a long episode.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a high desk. That's also a high chair that can go up that high.
Yeah, well, the chair's pretty low. I guess I'm sitting pretty straight.
And it's just your chin's just right on that.
Just right on there. Yeah, it isn't right now. I'm standing like a good boy. Also, I think it would be bad podcasting if my chin was rested on a desk the whole time. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
I just came up with $1 billion idea based on that image. A clamp-on chin rest for a standing desk.
Ooh, I think I just saw someone's Awesome Con submission for 2023. Jamal's selling something.
Yeah, he's just selling something. It's pretty awesome, right? Fits into the con.
So yeah, Brian, if I apologize. Well, no, I'm sorry for making editing jokes. Editing's not easy. It's time consuming. It's hard. You have to be good at it to make it even go quick. So, Brian, I just want to give you your flowers right now.
I really appreciate that. It is editing, from what I can tell, is a lot like pimping, and that it ain't easy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow,
and that's more wrestling.
I do want.
I thought you were about to say, from what I can tell, like. You just reveal that you've never actually edited the show. From what I can tell, it's hard, but normally I just upload all the audio.
Yeah. Just the whole thing goes up unedited,
unsynced.
That's nice to hear you guys mend fences like that.
I'm also nice,
it's beautiful.
I'm also though in the middle of still teaching myself how to edit, so that when Brian cannot edit, we are still good to go. So.
Brian, have you reached the point yet where you can edit and play video games at the same time?
No, I don't. How do you do? You're just like taking a quick break. You're like listening, playing, pause your game, do it, go back to the game.
I have a dual monitor set up, and about a year ago, when I started doing Twitch live streams, I hooked up the second monitor to my PlayStation, and then about 6 months ago, I was like, well, some of these shows I edit are like pretty long. What if and they have like very little edits. It's just kind of like listening and cutting out coughs and stuff. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, what if I played a little game and then just hit pause whenever I had to make a cut? So I started doing that and have beat like entire games without hearing the audio of like a single moment of the game. Now, a game that's very hard to play while editing is Elden Ring because there is no pause button. So I have stopped doing it because I die so much because I'm like, all right, got to cut this cough out, and then I'm dead in the game.
You're dead.
You just stand still for a second and something comes by and kills you.
Yep.
The only pause button is death in that game.
Yes, it really
and
is.
Reeves knows about that. Reeves is a big gamer.
Oh, I love video games. I know how they work.
I think we just found our new editor.
This is a new level. I want to get to this level of being able to play a video game and edit.
The multitask. I had a very brief period. I stopped because my girlfriend said it felt dangerous. I had a little foldable treadmill under my standing desk, and she came home one day, and I was editing, playing video games, and on the treadmill at the same time. And she was like, "I'm gonna come home to you dead on the floor one day." And I was like, "Yeah, fair."
Both in the game and you personally.
Yes. Yep.
They hate to see you maximizing your efficiency.
Yep. It was too much. Too many cooks.
It's too much.
You turn in that episode, it's full of coughs. And and you're like, hey, they died during the edit.
This episode of the Flagrant Ones is 4 hours long.
It's 3 hours of dead air.
And then that's 3 hours of dead air, and then all of a sudden, like, it sounds like a woman comes in and she's like screaming.
Yeah.
I always turn my mic on when editing.
Yeah,
that's what I do too. Yeah. Add little things in. I do. Kevin W., do you like struggle to like not like sometimes I find myself really wanting to add something to an episode, like some sort of like editor's note or some like a lot of times these guys like to talk about me when I'm not there, and I often have the urge to like just put a little thing and be like, hey, this is Brian. I just want to do this because I have the power to do that. Have you ever thought about doing that or actually done it?
I don't think so. I think I've done like a short pickup to like clarify something that when I'm listening, I'm like, this makes no sense. Like if cutting it isn't enough and I can't like cut it, sometimes I'll like do a little pickup. But a show I like called Triple Click, one of the hosts, Kurt, is also the editor, and he'll sometimes like put in he'll go beep and then say, hey, this is Kurt editing the show. I just want to say, this part was what, and like we'll clarify something. I kind of like that, but I don't know. I should start doing that. Or like if like a guest says something really stupid and I like don't call it out in the moment, like when I'm editing, I sound like way more brave. I'm like, that was so dumb. You're like, damn, Kevin, calling that guy out. But it's all in post.
It's all in post.
Yeah.
There's so much power you wield as the editor.
Yeah, you got to be responsible with it, Brian. Though you can't throw us under the bus like that when you're editing.
I know it's this balance of knowing when to interject yourself and when to just play the '90s Spider-Man theme song underneath everything, which is what I do a lot also. Which is I think a lot of fun.
You do have a lot of power with editing. It is kind of dangerous because, for instance, one show a couple months ago, I wasn't on the Zoom and the host and the guest were talking about me, and it wasn't bad, but it was just like jarring to listen to because they like clearly were like done with the it was like right when they finished, and then they talked about me for a couple minutes, and I was just sitting there like, this feels so weird, but I also don't want to stop listening. You get a lot of like off mic stuff too that is like it's too much power, man. I gotta strut when I'm editing.
You ruin someone's career. I'm just dealing with these two nobodies. You got some people you could really ruin some careers.
Yeah, I'm out here canceling people.
Yeah.
All right. Brian called me a nobody, so let's go on to the next segment. The segment's called Chefs I Prepared for You. This is a segment we do every week where we talk about what we had for dinner last night and only last night, and we present it as if we're presenting it to the judges of Top Chef. I'll go first. Chefs I Prepared for You. Domino's Pizza.
We got it procured. We got it procured.
Domino's. You don't like Domino's though, right? You're a Pizza Hut guy.
I don't. And I'm so happy you pointed that out. You caught that nugget. Pizza Hut doesn't deliver to my new place.
No.
Oh, no.
I almost moved out immediately.
Can you break your mortgage? Can you get out of it?
I'm figuring it out. I'm figuring out how to break.
The lawyers are on it.
Yeah, the lawyers are actually on it. They actually are on it. I'm trying to get a Pizza Hut built close by.
You could just start a franchise.
Yeah, that's what I'm in talks to. The franchise that's literally 2 miles away won't deliver here.
Do they have a good app?
Yeah, actually they do.
I had Pizza Hut for the first time in like a decade in December, and they have vegan pizza, which I didn't know about. So I was like, oh, great. And I didn't use the app, but I was curious if they did. And that's the end of my interesting question.
Yeah, they did a whole rebranding of their menu and stuff a long time ago. where they introduced a whole bunch of stuff you could do for pizzas and like gluten-free, vegan.
Yeah.
And then they went overboard, so they stripped it back a little bit to be more like, okay, we can't give everyone 17 different choices for everything they want to do. It's taking forever to make a pizza.
Cool. So you don't get any of that now.
I get none of it. None of it. Unless I go and get it. And I'm talking to my therapist about it.
Sure.
Working through it.
It's tough because they work at Domino's.
Yeah. Mr. Domino's is my therapist. Yeah.
And then my Papa John keeps talking to me about it too.
Yeah.
What else?
What did you get at Domino's?
And then you have, of course, whenever you send an email, you have to CC's everybody about your pizza stuff. Got that one out there.
Then you talk to your dog, Little Caesars.
He goes crazy when I talk about the breadsticks, though. I got a pepperoni specialty pizza, just extra pepperonis.
No sauce?
I actually got light sauce this time.
Wow.
I'll tell you something, and this is because I'm a pizza connoisseur. No sauce on Domino's. The pizza dough is too dry. So you can do a no sauce on a Pizza Hut pan pizza because it's got that nice buttery crust. But a no sauce on Domino's is too dry for me.
Yeah.
Too dry for the dry boy. It's intense.
Yeah. Even a dry boy needs some wet.
I feel you.
Keep that in.
Okay, chef's eye prepare for you.
Brian liked it.
Can't wait to hear what edit Brian says.
I hope Brian adds in like 7 more pizza puns in post.
Just after the record, just sitting there for hours coming up with a bunch. Yeah. Chef's eye prepared for you sheep pan gnocchi with mushrooms and spinach. Yeah, maybe. Now, I didn't make it myself. I just, I put the sheep pan together, but I got frozen gnocchi.
Okay.
I just put it all on there. And there was a nice horseradish Dijon mustard honey sauce that I put on it.
Okay. I was going to ask where the sweetness was, because that sounded pretty earthy without any sweetness. So I'm glad to hear that had that on there.
Yes. It was good.
Was it filling, though?
Not really.
It doesn't sound filling.
It wasn't. It could have had something else to it. I think that was a little bit more filling. My wife wasn't a fan, and I wasn't a fan. So it was a real failure. So now I'm throwing New York Times cooking under the bus. Allie Slagle, who came up with the recipe.
Yeah, and you're
come on the pod.
On the pod,
yeah,
Allie.
Defend your recipe.
Explain yourself. I have another tidbit for Kevin. He'll enjoy this.
Great.
I've made the transition of removing meat from my breakfast now.
Wow.
I've substituted meat in breakfast for black beans.
So
we're gonna see how that goes.
With black beans, do you ever have are you a cereal guy at all? Yogurts or just more savory?
I'm trying to get high protein in the morning.
Yeah.
Cereals just make me sugary and then crash. I can't do that.
Yeah. I stay up late, so I skip a lot of breakfast because I wake up at 9, sometimes 10 when I'm a bad boy. And my stomach does not wake up till have I eaten today? No. When you hear my order, it's going to be half the episode of what I made. But I'm kind of getting in this bad habit of having one gigantic meal a day. And I don't think it's good for me because I end up eating at 6 o'clock, 2,500 calories. And then I'm exhausted. And then my stomach isn't ready till 4 o'clock the next day of good morning, everyone. We've recovered from that assault.
Yeah, you need a nice nap after that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Similarly, I have 3 huge meals every day.
Hell yeah.
And it's also not good for me. Okay, so chefs, last night I prepared for you, or had prepared for me, chefs.
Oh.
Mama's barbecue chicken. which yes
ties into the episode.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. My mom made her famous barbecue chicken, which I'll give you a little insight on what her sauce is. It's mostly tomato sauce and brown sugar. And that's kind of it. A little bit of mustard. It's very good. Served along with instant mashed potatoes. I pitched making mashed potatoes, and everyone shot that idea down, saying they preferred instant mashed potatoes and 2 cans of corn. And that's what we had, Chef.
Wow. Now, here's the big question, and this ties into the episode. How salted was it?
Not really. We're not. My mom's not a salt person. She's the kind of that grew up in the era where like salt is bad. She's not a trained chef that has to put handfuls of salt in everything to make it taste like anything. So lightly salted at best.
Wow.
Were there any leftovers?
Just mashed potatoes. Man, I really wish someone made mashed potatoes. Brian's face is red. Fuck you guys.
I fucking offered.
A little bit. We made a pound of thighs and a pound of like tenders because we had a special request in that someone didn't want big thick breasts. They wanted tenders, so we could not get.
We know it wasn't me.
Thick breasts,
and it wasn't during dinner.
Yeah.
I love that you go out to the strip club as a family before dinner.
What are all these breasts out here? No one wants all these big old breasts out here.
Is anyone else hungry? Let's go home and make dinner.
Bring them tenders out here. Ooh, there's a tenderoni.
Did you really need to say big, thick before it?
How else could I have said it to have it have not been that?
Okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know the ones that look like they're, full of form. The ones that have like the thick heel.
Yeah. Whenever I go to the grocery store, I ask the guy working in the meat section, say, where's the sweaty titty meat for the chickens? I want to get some big old titty meat.
Excuse me, sir, where's your thickest meat?
He hands me a Jimmy Dean. I go, nailed it.
Got it. This is in the parking lot.
Yeah. Haven't even walked in yet.
You don't even work there.
Yeah.
Just going up to people, putting their groceries away.
All right, Kevin.
Chefs, I have prepared for you a 2-course meal made by what you would assume is a 15-year-old. The first course is Morning Stars Vegetizers Buffalo Wings with French fries, with some asides. The sauces are ketchup and vegan ranch. And then after devouring that, I said in the middle of an episode of Minx, "Uh-oh, I'm still hungry," and hit pause and made a PB&J with chips and salsa with Dave's Killer wheat bread. And I think at that point I said, my stomach hurts.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
It was a lot. Oh, and Lay's potato chips. This was definitely me being a bad boy and not like, hey, if I have a couple, evenly spread out meals, I probably won't destroy myself at 8:00. And it was like, nope, we need to eat everything in this house
right now.
Yep. So that was a lot, but hey, I'm feeling good.
You had potatoes 3 ways, it sounds like.
I know. I tried as many ways as I could. I had chips and fries. Turning 30 this year, I have try to find as many ways to have potato every day.
Would you like chips or fries?
Both for me.
Both, please.
Both, please. Thank you.
Do you have a third option? Can you put that on there too? Your potato salad?
Yep, that was me.
What kind of jelly do you put on that PB&J?
Just grape.
Grape.
Yep.
I've been fucking them with blueberry and strawberry a lot lately on my PB&Js.
How's it been? Thoughts?
Solid, I think. Really good. I think blueberry is my favorite.
Have you ever done the pepper jelly before on a PB&J? Like, like Trader Joe's has like a nice, like, it's like some kind of like pepper jack or something like that jelly. It's actually pretty good on a PB&J.
I've been in the lockdown too long. That's kind of my unique experience. But I went and got a sandwich at Whole Foods yesterday. So I guess I did have a sandwich for lunch and then all of that food earlier. But someone just walked right up to me and started having like a full-on conversation about their work schedule and their diet and how just getting one cheeseburger actually isn't bad because you're not getting fries. And I felt kind of bad because when my sandwich was ready, I was like, oh, that's mine. Well, it's nice chatting with you. And I was a couple steps away and I heard her say bye and then something else. But at that point, I was like, oh, I'm not going to turn around and be like, what'd you say? Because I thought she might have just said, I just said bye. But then the person walking past her thought that she was talking to him. So he goes, oh, excuse me? And she said, oh, that wasn't to you. I asked him, I said, goodbye, and what sandwich did you get? But I guess he didn't hear me. And I was like, wow, now I definitely hurt you. So I felt bad. I felt bad because she was like going into so much detail about this cheeseburger that she was getting. And then she said, what'd you get? And I just walked away.
And then that next guy had to hear her complain about you.
Yeah, exactly. This
question.
Asshole.
Yeah.
So I feel bad. I'll probably see her tomorrow and apologize and go through in painstaking detail the smoky TTLA I got.
Mm-hmm. Did you did either of your sandwiches have Texas toast on it?
I wish they did. But I did get $10,000.
It's good to know that you don't mess with BBQ.
Yep.
Brian,
or barbecue. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no,
Brian,
but...
is that good enough?
Brian, was that good?
No, but we're at like 40 minutes, so I guess we'll have to deal with that.
Good. We'll do a break here.
Poncha. I think my favorite moment this year at AwesomeCon was John Boyega walking around the con floor, shaking people's hands and saying, what's up? There's nothing better than finding out that one of your heroes is actually just a really cool guy. And that's just it. We're not awesome because of the suit. We're awesome because of what's in here. And that's what AwesomeCon's all about.
It is as fun as you might have expected and more.
Thank you for coming. We love you guys. We'll see you out there on the floor, baby. Bye-bye. Podchef.
And we're back. Podchef Season 6, Episode 5. Top Chef Season 19, Episode 5. It's not confusing at all.
Thanks for listening to an ad about AwesomeCon. We're sorry we won't be there.
Yeah. Thank you for catching up on that.
They bought that ad before they sent us the letter that we weren't in it. So.
I know this seems biased because you guys just got rejected, but horrible name for a con. Like, there's more creative names. So is the thing, it's awesome, which is a kind of overused word too.
I think so. I think they are trying to brand themselves as like the smaller Comic-Con because that's basically what it is.
Here's my pitch, and the pitch is a completely different con. AwesomeCon should rebrand as DeathCon, and it's a Comic-Con for morticians.
Mm-hmm. Okay, same amount of people show up.
Could we get into that one?
And it's all about like how do you guys cremate and how do you guys
this is good.
What are the makeups you guys use on the bodies and stuff?
Guest speaker, The Undertaker.
Hell
I think they have a Taker Con.
Taker.
I think they do. I think they have a Taker Con.
Grave diggers there.
Where it's like, I think it's called Coffin Con, and they like talk about the business.
Wow. I like Coffin Con.
Yeah.
Well, probably a lot of sick people there.
Yeah.
Not this year. It's not called that.
Anyways, we're back talking about Top Chef season.
Just for the listeners, Brian did not edit that in.
On the spot. That was great.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Top
this
Chef.
is just another episode Nothing too exciting about this episode.
No.
But we'll try and make it fun.
But it is a barbecue challenge episode, and we thought at the beginning, oh, there's no quick fire this episode, just like the last one. Oh, that's interesting. Mm-hmm. But they flipped the script on what they want everyone to flip the script on what barbecue can be and reimagine what brisket can be. They get 30 minutes to select their brisket and rub the brisket and start cooking it. They get to cook it for 12 hours. Now, I'm not a brisket person. I think I've had it maybe twice in my life. Has anyone here know brisket better than me?
I've never cooked it.
It's so weird you ask this every episode.
I mean, this is the one time it seems appropriate, right?
Yeah, finally.
I know.
We're like 100 episodes deep, and it keeps going up.
For some reason, Jamal thinks he wants to fight the guest. This is how he does it. He's like, do you think you know brisket better than me?
You?
Kevin, we'll start with you.
Yeah.
I mean, I've had brisket. Yeah, I've had it. What I thought weird about this episode is that they basically they just helped them cook it. There was no challenge in that. It was so they had the time, they had the things there. It was like, we'll do it for you, basically.
Because they came up with the rub and everything, but then they had the people help them like put it in and like monitor it.
Yeah,
which seems like cheating to me.
Yeah. I like that. I liked that there was like no real time constraints, and they had like fun doing like rodeo in the backyard and stuff. And,
Yeah.
I don't know. These like the time constraints always like stress me out, even though I know it's like realistic to probably what working in a restaurant is like and in a kitchen is like. But I love that they were just like, just take your time.
Yeah, remove that element of drama.
But to answer Jamal's question, I don't think I've ever had brisket. I do have family in Houston, so maybe I'm imagining this, but maybe we once had it there when I was a kid. But no. Did you like it, Jamal? Was it good?
I mean, the last time I had brisket, it was so long ago, so yeah. I don't remember last time.
In the before times.
In the before times. Can you believe this? Eating without a mask.
Oh my God.
Wow.
I was out at a picnic. Yeah, out at a picnic. No one had a mask on. Everyone was breathing on everyone. The food was just out in the open. People were laughing and spitting by the food. Those were the times.
Those were the days.
Food tasted better then.
Mm-hmm. I spit
so much when you could spit on people's food.
You spit on your friend's food and then give it to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a sign of love and affection.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You bleed in their foot in the food. In their sweet tea.
Yep.
Open sore with your hand as you're making the macaroni salad.
That's where blood orange comes from.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's how they make it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course it is. You know how to blood orange? You take an orange seed, you slice open your hand.
Your friend bleeds on it.
Yeah. You bury it in the ground, you get a blood orange.
And that's how sickle cell spread through the black community. So Jackson is doing stuffed pasta to pair with his brisket. I thought this was a risky idea, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, that actually sounds tasty. There's a moment where they stop and they pray to the brisket gods, which I was like, man, if we could get them on the show.
Oh yeah, huge. You would lock in AwesomeCon for sure.
Oh, for sure. Maybe we should have put that in the writer. We're getting the brisket gods, by the way. Like they're coming on the show.
I'm confirmed but not scheduled. The brisket gods.
Subject to change. I'm upset because I think the show should be a secular show, and I don't need to see. I'm here to watch food, not people pray.
And Brian brings this up every episode.
Well, you guys just lost half your audience.
Yeah.
So if you're listening and you are Christian, we thank you for listening, and we're not going to talk about the brisket gods anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of a pun with like Jesus and God and like a cross and meat of some kind.
Do you want to go to the writer's room?
When you guys went through the last episode, it didn't really work out. You guys didn't stay there very long.
It was weird.
The vibe was bad.
The vibe was off.
Yeah.
Also, I'll say it because Kevin will.
I got one. Go ahead, Jamal.
The guests last week, I'm not sure if they liked the writer's room idea very much.
It scared them.
Yeah, I think they were kind of scared.
Was it like scared or annoyed or a little combo?
Let's say annoyed and then also like scared about a bit that was born to tank
Well, if we're doing a writer's room, we got to talk about our lunch orders. My pitch is Stations of the Crust.
Oh, that's really good.
But I don't really think brisket is known for its crust.
And the burnt ends.
That's better than what I only had. Eye for a ribeye was the only thing I could come up with.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put one in later in the edit.
Sure,
I'll put one in. Okay. And it'll feel like I did it right here. It'll be awesome.
Can you also put one in for me because I couldn't think of one either?
Yeah, I will do an impression of you.
I'll sit.
But put it in while one of us is talking about something else, like in the middle of the episode.
Perfect.
It won't be placed correctly, but it'll be there.
Just cut away to it. So we see the chefs, they're putting their briskets in, and then we get a Whole Foods montage again. Then guess what? They come back from Whole Foods, and guess what? April Fools. There is a quick fire.
I love, this is how I want to go into grocery shopping going forward, is everyone tells me good luck.
Yeah.
It does feel like we need that now, right? It is stressful. Yeah.
Should be someone at the door being like, hey, good luck. Good luck to you.
Yeah, good luck in there.
They got a budget of $300 and someone came in at $296. I was like, damn, good job with the
nailed it.
Yeah.
With the math there.
Mm-hmm.
Let's listen to the quick fire.
Order today.
Jesus Christ. I never said there wasn't a quick fire.
So for this quick fire challenge, we thought we'd have a little fun with a classic barbecue side, Texas toast.
Never made Texas toast, never eaten Texas toast. Why does it need to be Texan? Can it just be toast?
Texas toast is a thick-cut slice of bread. The story goes, at a pig stand in the 40s, a bread order came in that was too thick to fit into the toaster. So they decided to butter and grill the bread, giving us Texas toast. We've stopped.
Is it always Texas toast? See, I'm not in the BBQ cookout game this deep. Is it? I thought it's always like just a piece of white bread.
A piece of bread, yeah.
That's Texas toast. A piece of white bread that's been heavily buttered and maybe a little bit of garlic. And it's toasted, and that's Texas toast.
That's Texas toast. Doesn't matter about the thickness, just piece of white bread.
I think they typically are a little bit thicker, but listen, in this challenge, they're doing whatever they want.
Yep.
I've bought Texas toast from the store before.
You can buy it frozen.
Yeah. Oh, I've never bought it frozen. I've bought the blue. I don't know if it's still blue, but it's like it has blue packaging, and it's like the thick Texas toast. It's just a loaf of like, buttermilk bread that's just cut thicker,
cut bread.
But I used to always get that and make myself a fat Spam and cheese sandwich when I was a kid.
Damn.
Did Brooke's story make any sense? At a pig stand in the 40s, a bread order came in that was too thick. What the fuck does that mean?
You had to order your bread right next to the pig.
Like,
yeah.
Back then,
can I get my bread extra thick, please?
Yeah.
Yeah, just say no. And just be like, I can't. The pigs only cut it so thick.
And I guess no one had knives in the 40s. They'd take home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just cut this in half.
They brought them all to the war.
Yeah. They confiscated everyone's knives, said, we need this.
Do your part for your country. Give your bread knives.
Turn in your knives.
And of course, the pigs are the only ones that can cook because the women are all in the factories doing their part.
Cut to a guy like trying to butter his bread. He like looks at his utensils and it's like, shit.
A damn war. So yeah, they have the Texas toast. Buddha wants to fix his pug's eyes. With
I love
the prize
that.
Money.
We got to start a GoFundMe, guys.
Yeah.
Not to spoil it, but that eye is still not working.
I couldn't focus on anything else the rest of the episode after hearing about that. I was like,
they make like a dog sound like in post too.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah. Zoom in on the face of the picture.
Yeah.
I like that. So like they do the talking head things after they do the episode. So like he had gotten the note that it was too salty. And so in his he's like, oh yeah, I was going to put something on it. I don't think something would have cut through them calling it a salt lick. Like, what would a little bit of acid done to a salt lick?
I think it would have helped a little bit. But I mean, especially since it seemed like they said it to his face that it was salt. Like, he was like right there.
Yeah.
Even like at the end where they're watching the pitmasters all eat their food, they're like, it seems like they like it and this and that. I'm like, how close are you guys to these people eating? Like, you can hear everything they're saying.
Yeah.
It's like they serve the food and then they just stand over their shoulders watching them eat.
There's no like, there's a lot more like in your face reactions this season than other seasons. I think last episode they cooked right with them in the kitchen. Also, like they're not hiding anymore. What they've done is a lot of bad stuff happens behind closed kitchen doors. So Top Chef is busting those doors open. We're seeing it happen now.
Yeah.
The good and the bad.
There's nowhere to hide anymore. And we're not even doing, separate judges table. We're just kicking everyone out in front of everyone.
I mean, there literally is a door busting moment at the end where the guy that meditates comes in first and he just both hands like pow, like knocks the doors open and like he pushes them open so hard that like 4 people are able to go through before like the doors start to close again.
And that's him post meditation. So
I'm surprised.
What would it be like?
I'm surprised like the assistant director was like, all right, can we do that again where you don't like kick open the doors? Like, that was a little much. You busted the hinges on these doors.
Yeah. Hey, this isn't a salon. So why don't you...
I know you heard the 40s before. You might be thinking about that, but
some of these Texas totes were like, "What the fuck are they doing?" Like the little tiny, like Buddhas with the little tiny breads with like the strawberries. What the fuck are you doing, man?
I don't know. Monique's thing was really bad too. It was like it was sweet, but it had mushrooms on it. I couldn't figure that one out.
Barely toasted. She lied when they said, "Did you toast this?" You didn't toast
just
this.
a little bit. Just a little bit. I was like, you didn't.
Like they were like
bread. Yeah. That is a snack. That's a dessert you just made. So the judges like Nick, Joe, and Jackson's Texas Toast, and the winner's Nick. Can we just mention again, I don't know if you know this, Chef Kevin, but Jackson has stated already that he had COVID and he cannot taste or smell anything.
Wow.
And he keeps doing well in this show.
Hell yeah.
And he can't taste his food and he can't smell his food.
But nothing has happened. There's been no dramatic thing where he has to taste anything yet.
I don't think anyone knows that he can't smell or taste. He just keeps getting people to taste his food for him.
So he had COVID and they still filmed the season of the show.
We assume he got over it.
Yeah,
we don't know when. He doesn't say when it happened.
We don't know though.
Yeah, we don't know if he.
The timeline's a little unclear.
Yeah. He may have had it right before they started filming.
That actually would have been a great like second talking head. Is like the first one's like, when I had COVID, I lost my taste, and then it's like another chef right after, and it's like, wait, he has COVID. When did he get? Like it's a bunch of people like really concerned.
Well, he had COVID on the show. What do you mean on the show?
They're in really close quarters. I was thinking about that too. Like, man, this must have been. I imagine they like isolate for 2 weeks and then film this for a month or something.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn, they're all so close to each other.
Yeah, and Tom makes them test like every day.
Yeah.
Both COVID and drug tests all the time.
Piss test. He stands there and makes sure no one has any pee bags taped to their legs.
He checks, yeah.
Mostly checking for pee bags.
Yeah.
I forgot the COVID test.
Pee bag check.
Pee bag
Pee
check.
bag check.
I forgot the test, but I'm just gonna check for your pee bags. I think like that's good enough.
Pat everyone's legs real quick.
Yeah, Tom comes out and says, "All right, everyone's clean." They go, "Tom, did you do the COVID test?" "I'll be right back."
Ooh, COVID. Sorry, that's what I forgot.
That's the big thing we're here for. Sorry, my bad. So the briskets are baking, right? And then Nick is because he's got immunity, he's out back trying to lasso some cattle as they're still cooking.
That was awesome.
He spends his time, instead of like, how do I fix my dish and make it perfect? He's like, I want to figure out a lasso real quick. If I can do this on my dinner break here.
Note to the editor on this one, not Brian of the show. Don't show him miss like 4 times. Just like maybe do the 5th one where he gets it. Like we don't really need to watch like, man, he really cannot lasso.
Well, I know what this is about. This is Hollywood.
Yep.
And this is Hollywood. And I said this before, that this show's going back to its roots. So it's making black people look bad. So
they want to show he can't do anything right. He can't even lasso.
Yeah. Oh, you think he's doing well because he won the quickfire? Well, check this out. He can't lasso. So
it was weird too with his talking heads that they would just cut off in the middle, and they didn't do that for anyone else. The meditation guy got a lot of screen time.
In earlier episodes, Kevin, like they go around, everyone gets to talk, and then Damar and Nick get to like say two things, and they're like on to the next people.
And my name is Damar, and then it cuts to
and I'm Nick.
And so for my second meditation class,
do you think that like no one else did the lasso? Like if I'm going to do a lasso, if there's a lasso, people are doing it.
I would have done it too.
They only showed him doing it because he looked like a fool.
Also, it sounded like they were like cracking some beers. Like, I want to watch this party a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like,
someone said, I think it might have been Evelyn said, it's not a barbecue unless you're drinking some beers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She's right.
Let's see the crazy shit these guys are getting into.
Yeah.
Because it's normally so rushed, we don't get to see them like party and lasso and swap stories. It's like we see, 4 failed attempts at lasso, and it's like, all right, the fun's over.
Back to work.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that they got a dinner break, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
that is the first time they've shown it.
Yeah, they normally don't show it. It's usually them back at whatever their place, like talking or debriefing. So
that must be the relaxed Amazon workplace restrictions.
Yep. Amazon famously chill. Okay, before I forget, when he says you're going to be cooking for 20 of Houston's best pit masters, one of the guys in the back says, and it really made me laugh, they like didn't cut it at all. He just goes, "Ah, shit." It was so awesome.
20?
Yeah. He's so nervous.
Was that Luke who did
it? It was
that?
Luke. Luke was turning to everyone. He's like, shitting me? We're screwed out there. They're going to eat us alive.
Everyone's kind of having that reaction without saying it. They're just like, oh, like hand on head and stuff. And then he's just like, oh, shit. Now, at first when they said 20, I was like, that's way too many. But then at the end when we're watching it, I actually enjoyed it because you kind of get like to hear a little bit from each table.
Yeah.
And it kind of felt like a full... How common is that? Because I was like, this is like a full restaurant of judges that they're doing. It seemed kind of nuts to me. But
that's
maybe
not
they
normal.
normally have it. Okay, yeah.
That's not normal. To have a whole restaurant of judges? No. They usually have like a group of like an outing for people to come in who are like on a VIP, but like a whole restaurant of like masters of like what you're cooking.
Yeah.
No, they don't really do that very often.
Yeah, it's pretty rare. I think these are the only people that would agree to do the test that Tom demanded for everyone.
Which is interesting.
Or the pee bag stuff.
Yeah. They're in Texas, and they're like, you got to take a test to be on the show. Yeah, I'll take your dumb test.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they look at it was surprising in Texas.
So, Kevin, you mentioned that everyone was getting nervous like Luke. Ashley got so nervous she forgot to season her brisket. Let's listen.
Smells like kitchen pepper. Ooh. Well, the brisket is undersalted. That's an unfortunate mistake that I cannot take back. So I am gonna make sure that the stew this brisket lives in is full of flavor. I'm gonna go get my slicks on and go from there.
And that's cooking 101. You gotta remember your salt.
Yep.
We've been over this, folks. Come on.
You gotta salt, and you gotta salt a lot.
Yeah.
You think you put enough salt on? No, double
Throw
it.
a little bit more on there.
Take it from a guy that had barbecue chips, Lay's chips, and fries yesterday. Salt is good.
Yeah.
It's delicious. This is what makes it taste good.
And this comes back in Last Chance Kitchen. Salt. It comes back in a big way.
It does.
No salt.
So Evelyn makes brisket curry, and Jackson is doing brisket stuffed pasta. Interesting dish choices.
Yep.
Do you guys hear how? I guess Jackson is like, I don't know if he's like Italian, but the way that he says he's like, I'm making scarpaccio, and it like sounded like weirdly California, Italy kind of thing. It sounded like scarpaccio. I can't do it, but you know what I'm talking about.
No,
I'm making scapaccio over here.
No, that classic California. We're making scapaccio over here, buddy.
Scapaccio.
I'm trying to remember where he was from, because that sounds like a very East Coast thing to say. But wasn't he the one that talked about like Italian California?
Yeah, he is from California. So I'm from Long Beach. What are you talking about?
What I'm saying is he said scarpaccio like an Italian might, but with no accent on it. It almost sounded like, like a surfer saying scarpaccio sort of thing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was very sus.
Whatever. Yeah, it was super sus.
Chef is angry.
The chef was so pissed.
Sous chef was pissed.
Little French chef's very pissed.
Can't stand when we do those accents.
Well, to Brian's point, they did have like a huge reaction right after where everyone else stopped cooking and said, "I'm sorry, what did you just say?"
This guy just said scarpaccio.
Hey, what's this guy? He's doing barbecue from Figueroa? What's up here?
I actually wish they had more like, I think you should leave-esque reactions. Like, the one I was praying for was when they all came back from Whole Foods and like the two like host judges were standing there and they all kind of were giving a look of like, okay. But I really wish there was like one like Tim Robinson character that was like, "I'm sorry, what are you two doing here?"
We have to get back to work. We just put some meat in. We have to check on it. You're kind of in our way.
Okay, and why are you guys here? Guy that keeps calling out like the most obvious thing.
Yeah. Everyone's just not saying anything, looking at them and like listening to the host. And he's like, "Is anyone else hearing this? We don't have to listen to them. Let's just move them out of the way."
I'm sorry, I was about to make a brisket. What are you guys talking about?
Yeah. They started handing out the briskets. They started doing the meals. Ashley cuts a thick piece of brisket in her soup, and it kind of just takes over her soup.
Big, thick brisket.
Do we think it was a coincidence that Damar and Nick are presenting together?
I had that thought too.
I wondered if they were allowed to pick who they presented with.
If they cut to me like sitting at the table, I would have looked at the camera like, interesting.
And if they cut to me, I'd be like, "How do I tell them apart?"
That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to trick Tom.
Brian, that's the question you would ask them, though, right? Did you guys choose to come out together, or was it assigned?
That sounds like something Padma would ask.
I think Padma would say that. She'd be like, "You guys choose to come out together?" And they'd be like, "Okay, Padma."
Do you often deliver food together so we get confused?
It's fine if it's fine if you chose it. We just were curious. There's a few guys in the back that are really curious, but we're just wondering too.
Yeah.
And then the whole restaurant goes, "Oh,
they're cousins."
They cut out all the B-roll of people being like, "Whose dish was this one again? The tall one or the shorter one?"
The woman with the brisketology shirt on. she had a lot of questions.
She's a scientist.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happened.
Getting a lot of questions, not really about the brisket.
Does anyone have any brisket-related questions? Hands go down.
Hands down.
So Luke may have finally served a good dish. Finally, episode 5, he's finally made a dish that the judge is like, "This is good." Some of them did look great though.
They did look really good. A lot of them looked really good.
Evelyn gets a round of applause, and this is the weird scene of the lady. Who wrote this in here?
I'll talk about this. So Evelyn, who's from Houston, says like, "I know everyone here," which, okay, cheating.
Huge bias.
Cheating.
Everyone's like, "Evelyn's here."
Yeah. They legit give her a round of applause after she like presents her dish, which again, cheating.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to this weird lady, and I don't know if it was the brisketology lady. And all she says is, it has this like, it's just this couple, and she says, "I need to try Evelyn's food," and there's no point for the scene to exist. Like she's like, "I need to try Evelyn's," and then it just goes back to the judges. I don't know why the fuck they did that.
It was very strange. It also felt like Evelyn should have said something. Like there was probably like, cause she was very overcome with emotion, and it felt like maybe she said something about like, you know, how spirited she was to be cooking for, you know, these pitmasters and being a Houston native or whatever. And they cut all that. It's just kind of like her being a little bit emotional, and then it cuts to what Brian just described. And then
it does cut back to, and thanks everyone. That's my time.
She's like patting her forehead with a napkin. She's been talking for hours.
She puts the mic back on the mic stand.
Is there no conflict of interest if she knows like several of the pitmasters? Does that not seem like a huge bias that the other chefs would be kind of annoyed about?
They have to talk about that, or they have to mention, you know, Jackson can't smell or taste his food, so it's one of the two.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say, I don't think they said that the like pitmasters, they would take their opinion into
That's what I was
account.
going to ask. It's like
sometimes they fill out little forms, but they didn't do that.
Yeah, like why is it just like a pressure that like all these like professionals are there, but the reality is like their input doesn't matter. It's really just the judges.
Yeah, it's just the judges for this one.
Wow, interesting. So it's just for show.
Yeah, fancy seat fillers.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, these are fancy guys because like that screenshot that Kevin sent us, there's a guy with this fantastic goatee that keeps going down on both sides in little strings of hair.
Goatee and like handlebar mustache that like goes all the way down.
Is it a Fu Manchu?
I don't know.
I think it's a half Manchu.
Is it a half Manchu? Yeah, what? Not a full Manchu?
Yeah, not a full Manchu. It's a half Manchu.
I did like when he said, just hearing a man like him say beef bourguignon. I was very...
Beef bourguignon.
My favorite French dish. I made it when I was cooking in France.
Yeah. Come on down to France. We'll make you a beef
Paris
bourguignon.
is beautiful this time of year.
I feel like he had just had a big glass of milk because he had so much like gargle in his throat. He was like,
yeah.
There's a beef bourguignon.
I hope there's a reveal like Sam Elliott-esque that like he's from San Francisco.
Yeah.
It's all fake. It's all put on. He gets
born and raised in San Francisco.
I didn't like that power of the dog.
Let's listen to Tom make a kind of an insult, but also a joke.
For all the ingredients that Joe talked about, I'm only tasting one thing, and I'm not really getting any flavor from it. I can't explain it.
There's a word for this.
Tell me.
Whelming.
I think it's actually straight up underwhelming.
Tom, my office.
Writer's room.
Now.
Immediately undercuts the joke too with like, no, it's just underwhelming. It's not even whelming.
That's so my favorite part. I love that she just mowed the lawn.
Yeah.
Gail negates the hell out of that.
I have a word for this. Huge setup. Okay, what is it? Whelming. 0.3 seconds later. No, it's just underwhelming. You idiot.
So rude. So rude.
Yeah, whelming. That is a pretty good word.
No, it's just underwhelming. And he's like, you motherfucker. And he
yeah.
tackles her.
Can we get that again without some additional reactions?
He's like, hey, I'm the head judge. If you would stay in line and laugh at my joke and not respond.
Yeah. Gail, do we need to take down the cage? What's up?
Hold for laughter.
Yeah. So more conspiracy theorists. Evelyn wins.
Yep.
Yeah.
Evelyn wins the episode where all of her friends basically show up and she gets to cook for them.
Listening to them all compliment their meals, I was like, I would be so bad on this show because if like a group of people all went around complimenting my food, I would just cry so much. And then like they would probably call a timeout and walk over to me and be like, is everything okay? And I'd be like, it's just like, this is a lot. Like it's really nice that everyone's saying this. And they'd be like, okay, just, you know, if you need to take a breath, like it's just a lot of you're a loud crier. So it's kind of interjecting.
I just worked really hard, and it's nice to be recognized by
I just never
peers.
really learned how to take compliments, and I'm getting so many in a row now.
So many. Yeah, it's like a rush.
Yeah.
I do want to play this clip that it's not tied to anything. It was just very funny when it was said, and I forgot to play it earlier. So,
anybody want some South in their mouth?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Oh, similar question. When they have a shot of all the black chefs in the same room together, fine if that was your choice, but if someone like suggested that, it's kind of an issue.
Yeah. No, we separate ourselves this way. Trust me.
I mean, they also it's weird that they cut that so short because he did follow it up with or some north on your porch, or some west on your chest,
or some east on your beast.
That went on for a while.
Yeah.
He started making up directions.
All right, let's listen to Ashley get eliminated.
Ashley, please pack your knives and go.
Thank you. This has been a really great opportunity.
Listen, we'll see you on Last Chance Kitchen, and my advice is always cook from your heart.
Thank you. Thank you, Chef.
God, he loves Last Chance Kitchen so much. It's so annoying.
Sucks.
There's always Last Chance Kitchen, right? I enjoy being thoughtfut and intentional in everything I do, but I just overthought, and it's very unfortunate for me right now.
I didn't expect that at all.
It's a blow to my confidence, but I'm ready for Last Chance Kitchen. I'm determined to win.
So here's the crazy thing. This Last Chance Kitchen this time is 2 episodes, 2-parter, and the winner gets to come back into the show. Spoiler alert, Ashley wins.
Hell
and
yeah.
back in the show.
Yes.
It is such a downer to end the episodes with like a contestant being cut. Like when Ashley was like, this is just so fucking sad or something, I was like, oh God, it made me feel so bad for her. And then it's just like the episode ends and you're like, oh. Like, I don't know. What do you guys think? Like, should you switch it so it's like the person gets cut and then we see the winner? Or do you think this is the best way to do it? It just seems like such a sad way to end each episode.
I actually think they should cut and we see the winner.
I think that'd be nice. I also we just watched an old season that had someone get eliminated and then it ended the episode with a massive argument in the stew room where someone kicked over a chair and then it cut off. So I think that would be an interesting end too, if it's more like aggressive.
If this was the Great British Bake Off, they'd do it just the positive.
That's true.
Even the people who get eliminated on that, it's like this positive, upbeat moment.
Yeah, the phone call.
I think that's what I was gonna say. Is you send them home and have everyone kind of just like talk in a nice moment. Like we like have some time to like don't just end with them like sadly cutting a promo about like how they lost $250,000.
Wait, you're saying don't end with, well, maybe I'll get cut again.
Yeah. Keep it a little lighter.
I kind of liked the tease for the next episode though, because it was like our guest judges are like 5 trailblazing women in Texas, and then it cuts to I forgot which chef says like I never want to be like known as the Asian chef. I never want to be known as the female chef, and I just want to be known as the good chef. And I was like, is this in reaction to having these people come on where they're like, look it's women and not like just like successful people. It seemed very like the way it was cut together. It almost seemed like she was saying that in reaction to this. I doubt it was, but the way it was cut together, I was like, wow.
I feel like it has come up a couple of times. There was a couple of seasons ago where someone called out that someone was like a female chef and she's like, I'm just a chef. So I think it is like a thing.
Well, even in Last Chance Kitchen, Sam, the only guy in the room, is going, let's go ladies, and Sarah's like, let's go chefs, and tells him to shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
shut up.
Yeah, and then Sam says, let's go lady chefs.
Sam goes, oh god, PMS, and they just beat the shit out of him. They'll just destroy it.
Yeah. She kicked his stool out. He just fell on the ground, and they all come over. They just stomp the shit out of Sam.
Man, Last Chance Kitchen, my girl Leah, who at first I was like, whatever, really got behind Leah in Last Chance Kitchen. She really was showing me something completely boned. Boned so hard.
If she got that salt, I think she would have been good. But
she would have been in.
Can't cook without salt.
BS.
I bet it still tasted good, but Tom can't taste anything because he's been like,
he's had COVID so many times.
Yeah.
I want a shot where he eats something and he goes, "Ow!" And it's like, what?
I can't believe okra won. He hates okra.
He does.
Like, that's crazy to me.
It was barely any okra. I guess it was just the seeds or whatever.
Yeah. I do want to. So usually we have a small talk clip of the week, but since there was 2-part episode, we got to get both of his small talks in. So let's listen to his small talk skills from Tom Colicchio.
Chicken thighs.
What did you get that can help? We got some lemon juice.
Yeah, lemon.
Got some vinegar.
It ain't over till it's over, chef.
Are these salted hazelnuts?
No. No.
Couldn't get that lucky.
Nope.
Ashley, what are you making? My favorite.
I know. I heard that you love okra.
I love it.
So
Absolutely.
what better choice, right, than to grab okra?
Okay. So Sarah, besides a mess, what else do you have?
Chef.
Well, you said him. Yeah, he had a mess.
Nice.
I'm being nice.
That's maybe the last time we had together.
So you have salmon.
Yeah, I'm gonna do a salmon with yogurt sauce, roasted fennel, raw fennel, and then an apple and golden raisin salad with walnut, with the intention, again, of texture, because I really like it.
Yep. All right.
I never get old. I'll never tire of his small talk.
Yep.
I think a lot of it is them editing out him having insecure conversations with the contestants about if they really want to be on this part of the show or not. It's like, do you like this? You want to be here? I feel like people don't like it.
Yeah, I love it.
I'm having a good time. This is my show.
It's my show.
I feel like
this is really my show.
That was from Last Chance Kitchen.
Yeah, we got one more.
We need a mashup with Last Chance U and Last Chance Kitchen.
We should get Tom on an episode
where they have to do like a 4-on-4 football game. And then the loser has to make the winner's dinner.
Yeah. And then you get judged. Here's the second one.
What are you making?
I'm making chicken fat fried okra.
Chicken fat fried okra.
Yeah. I'm doing like a fruity misti, I guess.
Looks like there's some onion in there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to bulk out the veg so that there's something substantial there to distract you. But yeah,
all that delicious okra. What's going on over here?
Hey.
Salmon. Oh, look at that. What do you know?
I got the salmon.
Salmon yogurt. What do you know?
Just trying to keep everything orderly over here so I can, when this is in order.
I can't work when it's a mess.
Same.
My brain starts to malfunction.
Yeah,
doesn't work.
I'm working it out.
Yeah.
I'm so messy.
Why were they talking about how messy she was right in front of her?
They were roasting her.
There's no more clips, but we will talk about the fantasy standings before we get out of here. So Brian is in second place.
Big episode for me this week.
Big episode for you. Evelyn, your only point scorer, gave you a lot of points this week, so you're at 32 and a half points.
I got Nick with the quickfire win too.
I now have 3 contestants out of the show, and basically Monique, who's just getting to the next episode every week and doing nothing else, and then Jackson, who is my dark horse, and also Jackson is the most points of anyone on the show so far.
Jackson.
And then Reeves is in the lead with a stout group. I mean, he's got Buddha, he's got DeMar, he's got Jay, he's got Luke. Like, it's just, he already got rid of your weak link, and you got 40 points. He's in the lead.
I'm calling it now. DeMar is going to win.
DeMar might win.
He feels like a really front runner.
Literally separating himself from the pack.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where we stand. And Brian, do you have any problems with the standings or the points this week?
No, now that I'm doing well, I feel okay with it.
Okay, great.
Note to the editor, say yes, fuck you guys.
So that's it. Kevin, you have anything you want to plug before we get out of here?
Sure. All the shows I work on are available at kevinbartelt.com. That's right. I made a website in 2022.
Wow.
All right. Nice.
People still go on websites these days. That's not bad.
Nice. Check out kevinbartelt.com. I guess. Wait, Reeves. Where are they now?
Where are they now? I'm going to do Sarah, since she just finally got eliminated from Last Chance. She cooks at a restaurant/butcher shop in Detroit called Marrow. They use local farms and local meat and stuff like that in their food. A lot of fixed menus. And also, she's getting married. So congrats to her.
Oh, congratulations and condolences.
Mm-hmm.
Reeves, I was hoping you were going to have like really personal information. That's like, how did he find that? Like, they're having a tricky fight. Her fiance ran into his ex. They dated for a while, but seems like that will work out. And the wedding's in June.
can't get on the invite list yet, but I'll let you guys know. I'm going to reach out to them.
Since we are critiquing this segment, I thought it was going to be you making up things about them.
So I thought about doing that, and then I got feedback that people were actually interested in this part of it.
I thought you were just going to say they died, and that was going to be the whole thing.
Were they not?
I was going to check in. Passed away. Great. Okay. That's the show.
Everyone who's off the show has passed away now.
Uh-oh, I just got to update that my high speed. I've used 75% of my high speed data for the month.
Oh boy. Well, until next week, we'll pack our knives and go.
Thanks, Devin, for coming by.
Thank you.